He looks so much more relaxed than Evangeline over here.
Because he's a jerk, and he's just trying to make us nervous.
It's working.
Shouldn't be much longer. Judge McClellan insists on staying on schedule. Evangeline won't let you down. Evangeline, you knew that Viki was called to testify? Hugh submitted Viki's name at the last minute. Oh, and this is the first we hear about it.
Viki didn't have an option, right?
No, I didn't. I'm so sorry about this. The last thing I want to do is hurt your case because I believe in you and I hope you know that. I'm going to sit down, okay?
All right. I'm glad you're here no matter what the reason.
Good luck.
All rise. Superior Court of Lantano County is now in session. Judge Terrence McClellan presiding. You may be seated.
You saw the defendant, Todd Manning, at Lantana Lake on September 19th, 2005.
Yep, I saw him. He was fighting with a pregnant woman. I thought it was his wife, but now I see it differently.
You cleaned and detailed Mr. Manning's car on September 20th, 2005. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And would you describe for the court the condition of the car's interior?
Objection. Calls for speculation.
Your Honor, this man is an expert in his field. I'm simply asking for his observations.
Overruled. You may answer.
The interior was covered with mud. It was caked all over the place.
And this mud that you saw, could it have come from, just say, the bottom of a lake?
Objection. The defense has already stipulated that Mr. Manning was at the lake.
Sustained.
Did you see any blood in the defendant's car?
Objection. Leading the witness.
Sustained. Be careful, Mr. Hughes.
Sorry, Your Honor. I'm sorry. Let's move on. You said that on September 20th, 2005, you discovered that some mud had been tracked into the defendant's apartment building.
Yeah, it was all over the back stairwell.
Does the defendant regularly use the back stairwell to enter his apartment?
Objection. Calls for speculation.
Overruled. You may answer the question.
Mr. Manning's in the penthouse. He always uses the elevator.
So having seen this mess in the back stairwell, do you believe that the defendant was trying to sneak into his apartment building on the night of the murder without anyone seeing that he was covered with mud?
Objection, Your Honor.
Withdrawn.
Consider yourself warned, Mr. Hughes. You keep pushing your luck, and I will hold you in contempt.
No further questions. The defendant pays your salary, isn't that correct, Mr. Denton?
I'm an investigative journalist for Mr. Manning's newspaper, and he's the best boss I ever had. He'd back you up in a barroom.
Move to strike the witness's character assessment of the defendant.
I'll let it stand.
As Todd Manning's employee, did he ever ask you to do anything that fell outside the realms of your regular duties?
What do you mean? Like make coffee or pick up his dry cleaner?
Objection, Your Honor. This line of questioning is completely irrelevant.
I disagree, Ms. Williamson. You may continue.
I'll rephrase. Did he ever ask you to do anything besides reporting?
Yeah, but it was nothing illegal, if that's what you mean.
Do you think it's legal to change the timestamp on a surveillance tape to place someone in one location when they're actually someplace else?
It depends. The tape you're talking about, it wasn't like it was confiscated by the cops. I mean, my boss gave it to them of his own free will.
All right, then. So you admit that you doctored the surveillance tape to place Todd Manning at his office on the night Margaret Cochran was murdered? Yes or no?
Yeah, I fixed the tape.
And did you do this at Mr. Manning's request?
Yes, so what? He's my boss. We work for a tabloid. We bend the rules a little bit. What's the big deal? This is America, Your Honor.
This is a little bit more than bending the rules, isn't it, Mr. Denton?
Your Honor, the prosecution's made its point.
Move on, Mr. Hughes.
The boss knew he was a suspect. Anybody in their right mind would be looking for an alibi.
Did Todd Manning ask you point blank to provide him with an alibi?
He paid me for it.
I'm sorry, would you please speak up?
My boss paid me to fix the tape. Anyone in his shoes would have done the same thing. That doesn't
Let
mean
me be
he
sure
did
that
it.
I understand. Are you saying that you tampered with the surveillance tape that the defendant offered to the police as proof of his whereabouts on the night Margaret Cochran was murdered, and you did this because he asked you point blank to provide him with an alibi?
Okay, now you're twisting around my words.
Sit down and answer the question.
Withdrawn, Your Honor. I think I already have my answer. Your witness.
No questions, Your Honor.
Is that as bad as it looked?
I got my objections in, and the judge ruled equally for both sides.
Mr. Hughes, call your next witness.
The people call Victoria Davidson to the stand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name and your relationship to the defendant.
My name is Victoria Davidson. Todd Manning is my brother.